time these two teams have met up in the title game, and Jim McElwain and Nick Saban, of course, the great shared history. So the moment, the old play caller against his former head coach, and Derrick Henry heading out there for a day in which he would define greatness, leading the nation in touchdown runs. First quarter, no score, and Brian Cox comes in off the edge.
And this is one of the plays that we talked about before, that Florida made a good play, but it had to turn it into a great play. For Florida to win, that has to be, they have to scoop it. They at least have to get it and maybe get a scoop six. That's what Florida needed to win this football game.
And Marcus, we know about the struggles of the Florida offense in their last 6 games, averaging 18 points. Reuben Foster coming in against Treon Harris.
Joe, this is what cost them. Look, you have to put your defense in situations where you can win the ball game.
And then stuff like this can happen when you don't, as it was the block punt, Damian Harris coming through.
Alabama's special teams has been huge this year. It goes unnoticed because we talk about Derrick Henry so much in this defensive front seven, but their special team stepped up huge all throughout the rest of this season, especially after the Ole Miss game.
So the safety makes it 2-zip. Harris going to take a shot. We talked about this earlier this morning. You got to take a chance when you have Antonio Callaway.
You got to take a shot, and they took a few. They did not take enough, in my opinion, and the receivers went up and made some nice plays.
So Austin Hardin lining up for the field goal, and it is blocked. So the first couple times they go out in special teams and try to kick the ball away, one for a punt, one for a field goal, both blocked. DJ Petway, so Alabama special teams was coming up huge early. Second quarter, Derrick Henry. And he gets popped by Davis. Ball comes out, and the Gators recover. Florida defense keeping him in it.
Joe, they did enough.
The one black eye on Derrick Henry's night right there. Just got a little low with the football. He's fumbled it 3 times this year. He's got to make sure he doesn't do that in the playoffs.
But penetration by Alabama would be a big part of this night, as A'Shawn Robinson gets in against Harris. He would leave the game, but he would return to the game a little later as he headed into the medical tent. J.K. Scott, one of the best punters in the country, he booms it, but Antonio Callaway on the return, he has been a playmaker all year long.
No question.
And listen, we saw 2 turnovers by this defense. We saw a huge special teams play. Just wasn't enough. But those are the type of plays we thought Florida would need in order to have themselves in this ball game all the way up until the 4th quarter.
And what an impact freshman. Every time he got an opportunity to make a play, he made the play. You got to get in his hands more often.
Florida takes a 7-2 lead on the punt return from Callaway. Under 4 left in the first. Calvin Ridley downfield.
This was a matchup we knew that Alabama had to exploit. Calvin Ridley against whatever defensive back lined over him. He is explosive when the ball's in his hands, and he plays the ball in the air as well as anybody we've seen in college football this year. Let's keep in mind, guys, it's only a freshman right there.
2 plays later, it would set up Derrick Henry, and this was the moment when history was met. 23rd rushing touchdown of the year, tying the record, and Alabama took a 12-7 lead into the half. What was your big takeaway of that first half? Obviously, you look at the Florida offensive struggles, didn't have a 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think it was the first quarter. Florida had more yards, they played better defense, and they were losing 2-0 in the scoreboard. And for Florida to have a shot, when they played better, they had to capitalize in the box score.
12-7, the score at the half. 3rd quarter, the Tide would be out there, and they were facing a 3rd and 10 when Coker extends the play to the near side, and a flag on the play roughing the passer, Tim.
Huge play. Huge play, because these are the type of downs that you need in order to progress forward. They were off the field, now you get extra down.
Well, you have to say that's one of the biggest plays in the game.
No question.
4th and 2, Ardarius Stewart. Florida 12th 4th down conversion allowed this season. That's nearly 58%. Later, Derrick Henry. And that run breaks Herschel Walker's single season rushing yards record. Henry, 1984 on the season.
And because of that, the penalty and then the 4th down conversion, the defense is wearing out. They're losing heart a little bit.
And Ardarius Stewart comes up big. Playmakers make plays.
What a catch.
And listen, we talked about these cornerbacks needing to win one-on-one battles. They were not able to do it this game.
All of a sudden, it was Bama 22-7, and Harris picked off. by Humphrey, and the Tide started to find that momentum.
Now, Greg, you got to help me understand this throw.
I can't for the life of me. I think he was trying to throw it away. I'm assuming he was trying to get it out of bounds, just didn't have enough mustard on it to carry it into the boundary.
Humphrey's third interception of the season. And then here comes Henry, and this is what he does best. You get the score going in a certain direction, you're deep into the second half, and he's just going to bulldoze.
Absolutely. And this is what Bama does. Lean, 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 and then they hit you.
That throw right there.
Muscle to Richard Mullaney.
Unbelievable
That's a pro throw,
Look at him
baby.
throw it.
That's a pro throw.
Great anticipation. Fit it right in front of Keanu Neal. You can't cover it much better than that. That's a big league throw from Jake Coker.
Lane Kiffin really enjoying that. 29-7 Bama. Alabama held Florida to 1 yard in the second quarter, 2 yards in the third quarter, and then late in the game, 5 minutes to play, C.J. Wharton from Treon Harris.
We
It
saw
should have
Bama
been more.
players do it.
But it
You
should have
gotta
been
do it.
more from Florida.
Well,
Try to take advantage of balls being in the air, and they didn't do it enough.
Later, Harris trying to
Look at Reuben
escape the
Foster's
pressure.
speed.
And Reuben Foster, you said it,
That's a big linebacker.
tracking him down.
To me, that's the difference in Alabama's defense this year.
Desperation
Linebackers
time
being able
for
to get-
Florida, fourth down, and Tim Williams. Alabama, too
Pass
much
rush
for the
specialist.
Gators
56
offense.
has been doing it a lot this season.
Back-to-back SEC championships for the Florida Gators. Sixth time they've won the SEC championship game. 25th time they have won the SEC title. The final was 29-15. Wharton had the touchdown catch for Florida. Henry once again, star of the night, 44 rushes for 189 yards.